Hola, hola. Hoy vamos a hablar de el preterito. So what the heck is the preterito, or the preterit, as we call it in English? Well, el preterito is one of two past tenses, okay? And so in the last video, we talked about el imperfecto, which is our other past tense. So we have el imperfecto and we have el preterito. And there are differences between the two of them, and we're going to talk more about those differences in an upcoming video. So right now, we're just going to talk about how to form el preterito. So el preterito is what I like to call el pasado específico, because there we go, específico, because we're going to use it when we're talking about more specific events than when we talk with the imperfecto. But like I said, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of that in a different video. So for right now, let's talk about how we form el preterito. For this video, we're going to focus mainly on verbs. We're going to focus only on verbs that end in AR. So this is el preterito de verbos de AR. ¿Sí? Entonces, let's make our chart. All right, so we've got yo, and we've got tú, and we've got usted, and él, and ella over here, and we've got nosotros, and we have ustedes, and we have ellos and ellas. All right, so when we have our verb, for example, por ejemplo, let's do el verbo. No, estar es irregular. Hablar. Hablar. So the first thing that I'm going to do is take off that AR, right? Adios, AR. So we're going to take off that AR, and then we're going to add on our new ending depending on who our subject is. We have talked a lot about this. If you need a review of conjugations, check out the video on conjugations. So we're going to get rid of our AR, and we're putting on our new ending. So if I am the subject, yo, I'm going to say yo hablé. So now this is what I'm going to put in place of that AR. Yo hablé. Hablé con mi mamá. I spoke to my mother. Tú hablaste. Hablaste. Hablaste muy fuerte. You spoke very loudly. You're very strong. Usted, él o ella, habló. Now, you might notice that this looks kind of similar to the present tense, right? Hablo. But the difference is this little emphasis line right here, so make sure that you have it. These are not optional lines. Habló. It changes our emphasis from hablo to habló. Okay? Usted habló con el maestro. Did you speak with the teacher? Habló. Nosotros, get ready for it, is amos. So it's exactly the same. In the preterito and in the presente, it's exactly the same. Hablamos y hablamos. So the only way we're going to know, how we're going to know, is based on context clues, right? If everything else I've said is in the past, then this would be in the past too. Hablamos. And ustedes, ellos o ellas, this is going to be hablaron. Okay, now you've probably noticed that all of this looks very little like what all of the other endings we've talked about are, right? This one does not follow the patterns. It's definitely more tricky. So that's why I saved the best for last. So now let's look at some of this in context. The preterito is going to take a bit of practice and a lot of exposure, right? A lot of input. You're going to have to see this a lot in your readings, or just pay special mind for it. Really look for it in what you're doing. So now let's take a look at some examples. ¿Sí? Porque ejemplos son importantes. Bien, entonces, por ejemplo, si mi verbo, si estoy leyendo, we're going to do an example with a question here. We've got practicaste ayer. Okay, so when I look at this, practicaste ayer, I'm noticing this ending, right? Can you recognize the verb? Where is our verb? Our verb, practicaste, but if you notice the roots, we've got practica to practice, right? And then we've got this ending here, aste. Practicaste. So if I look at my chart, I can see aste represents my subject to, right? So that would be you. So because it's a question, I've got, did you practice yesterday? Right, with ayer. Did you practice yesterday? Because I'm looking at this ending, all right? Vamos a mirar otro ejemplo. Oh, I don't know why I put a question mark there. Bailé toda la noche. Sí, soy un animal de fiesta. Bailé toda la noche. So my verb right here, I've got bailé, and if I look at it, baile, right, dance. I can recognize it from the root. I have this ending a, which if I look at my chart, represents yo. So it would be yo, I danced all night. ¿Sí? Soy animal de fiesta. Bailé toda la noche. Otro ejemplo sería anoche cantamos. Okay, anoche cantamos. So once again, where's my verb? My verb is right here. And I recognize the canta, and I've got the amos. Now, this is what we were talking about. We know amos is nosotros, so it would be we. But is it we sang or we sing? Because it could be the past or it could be the present. So I need to look for my context clues. And right over here, I have this context clue, anoche. So anoche means last night. So would it be last night we sing or last night we sang? We just have to look at the context around it. See? So last night we sang. So if I am creating this, instead of just reading it, if I am creating this, I'm going to have my verb, right? We've got our conjugation formula, which is our verb, and then our subject, and then our tense, right? Okay, so if I'm creating the preterito, which is going to be my tense, el preterito, so I'm going to look at what my verb is, look at what my subject is, and look at what my tense is, right? So let's put our endings here on the side to remember them. So we've got yo, a, tu, aste, el, o, nosotros, amos, y ellos, aron. See? So if my verb is llevar, which means to carry, or llevar puesto, which means to wear. So if my verb is llevar, and I want to say they carried their lunches, I mean, why not? I'm going to get rid of this AR, right? Adios, AR, and I'm going to replace it with my subject. So they would be, oh, I didn't mean to erase that. So they would be down here, this aron. So that's what I'm going to put on the end. Llevaron su almuerzo. They carried their lunches. Llevaron su almuerzo. All right, or dejar, which means to leave or to allow something to happen. So dejar. We also use dejar to mean like they stopped doing something with the verb de, or the preposition de. So we're going to use dejar de llorar. So it's kind of like saying they left the crying or they stopped crying, right? Dejar de llorar. So let's say you stopped crying. You, right? So we're going to take off our AR, and then we're going to find you. Erase that line, which is aste. Oh, that I changed. Aste, right? So we're going to do dejaste de llorar. You stopped crying. Dejaste de llorar. See? Bien. Uno más. ¿Por qué no? Let's do. And now I'm drawing a blank. Let's do llorar. Why not? So we've got llorar. So llorar. And I'm going to say that I cried. See? So we're going to get rid of our AR. We're going to go with our subject yo. So that would be a. So I would say lloré. I cried. Lloré. No sé por qué, pero yo lloré. See? So that is our preterito and how we form it. Let me know if you have any questions, and don't forget to check out the practices to see how well you understand it and how well you can form it. Hasta luego.